Today we will be looking at finding the equation of a line. Before we get started, let's take a look at what the equation of a line represents. It represents y equals mx plus b. This is the generic equation of a line. And what we want to find is what m equals to and what b is equal to. Okay, so let's take a look. M is equal to the slope, right? And slope is equal to rise over run. Rise over run. What that means is how much the y-intercept or y-axis changes compared to how much the x-axis changes. So let's take a look at this example over here. Here, if we have this point over here, we can see our point is -2 for the x value and -4 for the y value. And our next point that we could find is right over here at 0 for the x value and 1 for the y value. And we can see going here, we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we rise 5 units, and then we run, which is going to be the x-axis, 1, 2, 2. And so our slope is equal to 5 over 2. Find slope is by doing this equation. y2 minus y1, which will help us get the difference between the y's, and x2 minus x1, which will get us the difference between the x's. Now, let's take a look at what the values are going to be. Now, x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. So let's take a look. y2 is going to equal -4. y1 is going to equal 1, so we subtract that by 1. x2 is going to equal -2 subtracted by x1, which is going to be 0. Now, that is going to equal -5 over -2, which can be simplified to 5 over 2. We can cancel out the negative signs. And so that is going to be the slope. So we can change m to write in what we have for the slope, 5 over 2. Now, we looked at what y is going to be, which is the y point. We looked at m, which is a slope. We looked at x. We didn't look at b so far. Now, b is called the y-intercept. This is the point of the line that is touching the y-axis, which is what I'm coloring in red. So what point is touching the y-axis? Well, y equals 1. And so b can be replaced and just put in as +1. Now, let's say we're only given this part of the graph, right? We don't know when b is touching the y-axis. And so how can we solve for it? Well, we can put in a value for the line and solve for b. So let's take a look here. So we have y equals y over 2x plus b. And let's take this point that we have, right? -2 and -4. We can input that for y and x and see what b is going to be. So -4 for y, and then we replace x with -2 and solve for what b is. So 5 over 2 multiplied by -2, we can cancel out the 2's. That will equal -5, because it'll be 5 times -1 plus b. And now b is equal to -4, and we add 5 to both sides, right? So we got to add 5 to both sides to get rid of the 5 here. So b is equal to -4 plus 5. And that is equal to +1. Let's double check. And perfect. This is where our line meets the y-axis. And so we can replace b with +1. And so this is going to be the final value for the slope of the line. And this is the full equation of the line. As we can see here, y is equal to 5 over 2x plus 1. The reason we don't have a value for y and x in our equation is because they keep on changing. But the slope and the y-intercept will always remain the same. And there it is, folks. This is the equation of a line. Please like and subscribe and follow for more.